everyone, it's Christina, Nomad Xtina, coming to you from home. Yeah, so I thought I'd give you a quick update on what's going on. I have taken a little break from my channel. I think it was a week ago, on the 14th of June, that I got a call. I was in northern Nevada, and my dad called and said my dog was sick. Well, she's 14 years old, and she had Cushing's disease. So I knew she wasn't going to live as long as some dogs do. But she seemed perfectly, well, I shouldn't say perfectly fine. She seemed fine for an old dog before I left on my trip. And her heart it went into failure, basically, and she had to be euthanized. So I spent 2 days that day and the next day just driving home, almost 800 miles. And I've been sitting home since then, gone out of the house to buy a few things at the store. But aside from that, I just kind of have sat around. As you know, it's really hard to lose a pet. I mean, I loved my dog so much, and we all love our pets. And I know it's not healthy. And I'm not one, I don't cry much, actually. I mean, I cried, and I had to force myself not to cry when I was driving. But I can't just sit and mourn and mourn and mourn. I don't think that's healthy. So I'm trying to force myself into activity. I also don't want to, if that makes sense. But I am making plans to get back out of the house. I did something nuts, something crazy, something that a lot of nomads would be like, why the hell did you do that? I bought a Thousand Trails camping pass. First of all, Thousand Trails no longer has the reputation it did decades ago. A lot of the campgrounds, parks are run down, not well maintained, at least according to, people with money standards, but I'm not a person with money. The ones I was at a couple of years ago were pretty nice, in my opinion. I'd had a camping pass a couple of years ago and stayed at several of the Southern California parks and really enjoyed them. So I decided, what the hell, and I went ahead and bought one. Probably because I'm in mourning, and you often make stupid decisions, financial decisions, when you're low. But it kind of makes sense for me. As you've seen on some of my videos, I like boondocking. I like free camping on public land. But I also love campgrounds. I like having picnic tables and bathrooms. And with the Thousand Trails, I like the fact that I can go take a hot shower. And there are machines I can go do my laundry without having to drive into town. A lot of them have swimming pools, things like that. And because I'm a tent camper, I have to utilize this pass differently than an RV camper. That's what makes this decision crazy. First of all, not all Thousand Trails parks accept tent campers. And absolutely all of them have a very strict rule. You are not supposed to sleep in your vehicle, okay? If you have a minivan or an SUV or something like that, if it's not an RV, you are not supposed to sleep in it, and they can kick you out. I have stealth camped before at a couple of parks in my car. I mean, I set up the tent as a dummy tent, but this time I'm just going to set up my tent and sleep in it. Tents can only stay for 7 days at a single park, and then you have to be out of the system for a week, as opposed to RVs, which can stay for up to 2 weeks and be out for a week. But I can also follow the 4-day rule, and the 4-day rule is if you stay for 4 nights. I lost track of where I was because oh my God, my daughter came knocking at my door, and I was like, I don't want to talk right now, I'm recording something. She had apparently quote-unquote cool physics shit to share with me, but she'll just have to share that later. With the Thousand Trails camping passes, you can stay somewhere for 4 nights and leave, and then you can go directly to another park without leaving the Thousand Trails system. So in theory, as a tent camper, if you have enough tent camping campgrounds near you, you can bounce around to them indefinitely. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to utilize this pass in conjunction with free camping, state park camping, national park camping, and the Thousand Trails, depending on where I'm at and what the availability is. What I'm going to do is just go to the nearest campground later on this week for a couple days. I've been there before, and it's one that I really enjoy, and stay there for 4 days, come home, and then take my daughter to her doctor's appointment, and sit around home for another week or so, and then I'm going to take off in early July. I'm not going to go back to northern Nevada right away. I'm going to do some California camping. Going to be summer. Some places are going to be kind of hot. What I've currently got planned is I'm going to her San Simeon State Park. It is one of my absolute favorite places on the Central Coast. And the Washburn Primitive Campground is only $20 a night. And I found 3 consecutive nights of availability, which is surprising because coastal campground, and usually you can't find anything in the summer, but I got lucky, so I'm going to go there. Then there's a couple thousand trails parks I'm going to bounce between. And then I'm going to go to Fremont Peak State Park, which has a higher elevation, so hopefully it'll be cool enough. And then I'm going to bounce to another 1 or 2 thousand trails parks. And I'm still trip planning. I don't know what I'm going to do after that. But the last one I'm going to end up is near the Nevada-California border, nearish Lake Tahoe. So maybe I'll pop back into Nevada, or maybe I'll just come home. I haven't decided yet. For some other plans for this Thousand Trails Pass, I'm going to add the Northwest zone. Right now I just have Southwest, but which cost the list price is a little over $600 per year. They have a 20% discount code, and then I can't remember exactly what I paid, but it was somewhere between $500 and $600. And then I'm going to add the second zone for an additional $90. Then I'll be able to go to the Oregon and Washington coastal campgrounds. And I want to do that in the fall before it gets too cold, but after my daughter goes back to school. Because quite frankly, the things that have kept me from being full-time, well, there are 3 things, and one of them will still keep me from being full-time, but I'll be out on the road a lot more. The first one, of course, was my dog. She did not like to travel, so I wasn't going to abandon her forever, but I would go on trips and then come home and see her. She loved my dad to death, possibly more than me, which is, I mean, she was my dog, but she was really attached to him. So I didn't consider that abandoning her, and I would be gone for a few weeks and then come home and stay and then go out again. The real biggie that has kept me home for the past year and a half is my daughter. She got sick at school. I'm not saying what was, the issue. It's not, that's her personal business, but she took medical leave from college. She's healthy, and she's going to go back in late August and finish her degree. We're both really excited for that, but I also want to spend some time with her over the summer, so I'm not going to be traveling full-time this summer. But she does want to go spend time in Vegas with her boyfriend and her Vegas friends. That's not where she goes to school. She goes to school back east. So while I'm on this trip that I'm planning, she'll go there, then we'll both come home, spend time together, then she'll go back to school. And then I'm going to have time to travel because I don't have to worry about my dog. Still have to worry about my parents. They are elderly, but they are both fit enough to, they'll be glad to get rid of me probably for a month or 2 while I do some other exploration. And then in November, I've got Cocoa Fest meetup with Deborah Dickinson. Totally looking forward to that. Anyway, those are my current plans, my situation. And I wanted to thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. So, as I usually say, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And if not, that's okay. I'll see you in my next video.